read a book, but first you're going to help me decide on every page if you think the information is true or false. So what do you remember true to be? If something is true, that means that it's right or it's correct. The information is correct. And if something is false, that means that it's fake or it's not real information. So I'm going to read a book today that says true or false, butterflies and caterpillars. So from what we've learned, and maybe just taking a guess, because some of these things we really might not know, I want you to help me decide if the information on the page is true or false, and then we'll read a little bit more. This is a scholastic book, True or False, Butterflies and Caterpillars by Melvin and Gilda Berger. True or false, butterflies have 6 legs. True, butterflies are like all other insects. They have 3 pairs of legs which are attached to the body. Each leg is divided into 4 parts and ends in a tiny claw for gripping or holding on. All 6 legs are hinged to let the butterfly walk or land easily on leaves and flowers. Your elbows are hinged and so are your knees. So that means that it can bend. So their little legs can bend so they can land softly on leaves and flowers. Butterflies need the sun's warmth to fly or feed. True or false? Does a butterfly need the sun's warmth? True. Butterflies are sun-loving creatures. They cannot warm themselves. They need the heat of the sun to warm their bodies for flying and eating. The flowers that butterflies feed on also need lots of sunshine. These flowers contain nectar, a liquid that is the butterfly's main food. Here's a little fun fact. It says butterflies rarely, that means only a little teeny tiny bit. Butterflies rarely feed at night or in the shade because they love the sun. True or false? Butterflies chew their food. Do they chew? False. Butterflies don't bite or chew their food. Their jaws are locked together at the bottom of the head to form a kind of feeding tube called a proboscis. Can you say that word? Proboscis, like a long straw. The proboscis works like a straw to suck up or sip the nectar from flowers. Butterflies also sip water from puddles. True or false? A butterfly will feed from any flower. False. Each kind of butterfly has its own favorite flower to feed on. Monarch butterflies prefer milkweed. Painted lady butterflies usually choose thistle or zinnias. Other types of butterflies seek out marigolds, daisy, or crocuses. So if you're wanting to get more butterflies in your garden, it would be good to look up online and figure out what kind of flowers certain butterflies like and plant those flowers. True or false? Butterflies taste with their feet. We taste with our tongue, but do butterflies taste with their feet? True. The bottom of each butterfly's leg has a pad with tiny hairs that taste the flower. Many butterflies take only a few seconds to decide if the flower's nectar is good enough to eat. If it is, tiny claws at the end of each leg grip the flower and the butterfly starts to feed. Fun fact, butterfly legs are weak, so these insects don't walk very far. True or false? Butterflies have noses for smelling. What do you think? False. Most butterflies use their 2 long, thin feelers or antenna for smelling? The antenna grow between the butterfly's eyes. Look at his eyes. Here's one antenna and another antenna. Each antenna has a knob at the end with sensors to pick up odors. That's what you smell. A good sense of smell helps butterflies find food and mates. True or false? A butterfly sees what we see. Look at those big eyes. Do they see the same way that we see with our eyes? True or false? False. A butterfly doesn't see what we see. It sees in almost every direction at the same time. That's because it has a large eye on each side of its head, and each eye is made up of many tiny separate eyes. It also spots moving objects easily. Just try to creep up on a butterfly and see how fast it sees you and flies away. True fact. Scientists believe that butterflies can only see the colors red and green and yellow. Look at that beautiful butterfly. True or false? Butterflies have two pairs of wings. A pair means two. So if it had two and then two pairs, another two, what's 2 plus 2? 4. So does a butterfly have 4 wings? True. Like other flying insects, the butterfly has 2 pairs of wings. It flaps all 4 wings at the same time when moving through the air. The larger the butterfly, the slower it beats its wings. A butterfly has to be careful that it doesn't tear or break its very delicate wings. A butterfly with damaged wings cannot fly. Fun fact, butterflies flap their wings 4 to 20 times a second. That's why if we touch or hold a butterfly, we need to be sure to keep our hand flat so that we can't touch the little scales on their wings and injure them. True or false? Butterfly wings are covered with scales. Not scales like a fish, but scales. True. Butterfly wings are covered with tiny overlapping scales that are as fine as dust. Under a microscope, the scales look like shingles on the roof of a house. All of the butterfly's color comes from the scales. Some scales have color of their own. Other scales change color as the light strikes them. Fun fact, scales keep butterflies warm by absorbing the sunlight. True or false? Butterflies have few enemies. Does that word few mean a little or a lot? Few means a little. So do butterflies have just a little bit of enemies? True or false? False. Butterflies have many enemies. Cats, birds, frogs, lizards, spiders, and humans. To survive, many butterflies have strange designs, shapes, or patterns on their wings. A number have large spots called eye spots, which can make the butterfly look like an owl or another animal. The eye spots startle the enemy, giving the butterfly time to escape. Fun fact, a butterfly's eye spots may get bigger or smaller with the seasons. True or false? Some butterflies are nearly invisible. Can you see that butterfly up against the trunk of a tree? You can, but he's pretty well hidden, isn't he? True. Some butterflies just blend into their surroundings. This ability is called, do you remember the word? Camouflage. A few kinds of butterflies look like dead leaves. Some resemble the gray bark on trees or have wings that are bright on top and dull underneath. When in danger, They land on twigs or leaves and fold up their wings. Fun fact, some butterflies have see-through wings with very few scales, which make them nearly invisible. Can you see the butterfly on that tree? That one really blends in, doesn't it? True or false? The largest butterfly in the world lives in the United States. False. The world's largest butterfly lives in the treetops of New Guinea, far from North America. The Queen Alexandra's bird wing has a wingspan of about 1 foot. That's about the wing size, tip to tip, of a robin. It's almost as big as a bird. Laws now protect the endangered Queen Alexandra's bird wing from hunters. True or false? The smallest butterfly is the size of a thumbnail. Look at your thumb. You think there's a butterfly that could be that small? True. The world's smallest butterfly is the western pygmy blue. Most of these butterflies live in tropical areas of Africa and the Hawaiian Islands. The pygmy blue, with its wings open, would fit on a dime. It's only a ½ inch wide. Butterflies live in all continents around the world except Antarctica. What do we know about Antarctica that would not make it a good habitat for a butterfly? Remember when we studied about penguins? Penguins need a very cold place, right? Or can survive in a very cold place because God's given them blubber and special waterproof feathers. Remember? Does a butterfly have any of that? We read that a butterfly needs a lot of heat and sun. So would they be able to live in Antarctica where it's cold and snowy and icy? Remember, God has made every creature very specific to the place that he wants it to live. So he never intended for the butterfly to live in Antarctica. True or false? Butterflies and moths look alike. True. Butterflies and moths look alike, even though moths tend to be plump and fuzzy. Another way to tell butterflies and moths apart is to see them at rest. Most butterflies at rest hold their wings straight up over their back. Moths generally spread their wings flat over their back. Moths do not have knobs or bulbs at the end of their antenna like butterflies do. Look, they look more like a feather. True or false? Butterflies live only 1 day. False. Butterflies may live from 2 days to nearly a year. Some hibernate or spend the winter in a deep sleep. Monarch butterflies come together in large groups and migrate or move to a warmer place for the winter. True or false? Butterflies lay eggs in nests. We've read about butterflies laying eggs. What do you remember? False. Butterflies lay eggs on leaves. Each egg is very small and often looks like a tiny jelly bean. In 1 or 2 weeks, caterpillars, not butterflies, hatch from the eggs. The newborn caterpillars look like little worms or small snakes. In time, these caterpillars grow up to be butterflies. Fun fact, some butterflies lay more than 1,000 eggs at a time. Look at those sticky eggs on the bottom of a leaf. True or false? Newborn caterpillars eat their own eggshell. True. The first thing the newborn eats is his own eggshell. Each kind of butterfly lays eggs on a plant that its young can eat. As each egg hatches, a small caterpillar crawls out. It starts nibbling leaves non-stop. A monarch caterpillar can finish a whole milkweed leaf in about 4 minutes. A caterpillar never sees its mother, the female butterfly that laid the egg.